Hey gang, welcome back to Rob's Retro Garage. Today we're going to be concluding our engine teardown. This will be part 6. I'll have a how-to for removing the harmonic balancer, so you can do that yourself. Then we'll be taking the main caps off, inspecting the bearings. We'll remove the timing chain and the timing gears. We'll also remove the crank and the camshaft. Okay, let's have a little tour here. Crankshaft and the camshaft are not out yet. There's the cam down there, there's the crank. But I got the pulley off. I just got to take the harmonic balancer off. Then I can take out the caps. Then I can take out the crankshaft, take out the camshaft, and all this stuff will be ready to go to the machine shop tomorrow. Kit I'm going to do it with. It says steering wheel pullers on it, and I got this off of Amazon. I think it was about 29, 30 bucks. So I'd rather just go ahead and have my own than to have to pay to rent it and worry about having to turn it back in. So anyway, let's open this thing up, and inside this is what we've got. You see, we've got an assortment of bolts. So the ones that we're going to be concerned with, and I already figured out which ones we need these 3 bolts right here. Let me go get my measure tool for the bolts, and I'll show you what size bolts those are if you're curious. Okay, this is my bolt sizer, I guess, measurement tool. And this one fit in just perfectly. So it looks like in millimeters that would be 10. I think that's looks like that's a 3/8. So that's what kind of bolt that is. I don't know what the length of it is. Well, I guess we could measure it here, couldn't we? It is, looks like it's about, what would you call that, 55 millimeters in length. Or we can flip it over. Whoops. And we can measure it in SAE. So looks like about 2 and, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 3/8. Something like that. 2 and 3/8. But anyway, it's a 3/8 bolt because it fits in right there. So now this is the other piece you need. Let me get this out of the way. This is the other piece you need. And the end just comes right off. It's got the little locking pin on the side, kind of like a socket does. And I think this is the head that you want for it right here. So we're gonna take this, and we're gonna take that empty end, and we're gonna put it in there, and we're gonna start threading it through. And we look on the other side, and you see it starting to come through. So I'll see if I can do this. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this with one hand or not, but so we take the other end and just pop it in there just like that. screw in just a tad more. Okay. So then you're going to take these bolts and you're going to put one in there, and you're going to put one in there, and you're going to put one in there on the harmonic balancer. So I will take them over there with me, and we'll be right back. Okay, and here we are at the balancer. And you see there's the 1 bolt hole, 2 bolt holes, 3 bolt holes. So, sounds like I said butthole there, didn't I? 3 bolt holes. So, you got this thing on here like this. I'm going to have to hold it with the back of my hand there, so you're going to kind of get up close and personal with my harmonic balancer. Oops. And that one's in just a little bit. Come on. All right, I'm not going to be able to do this with just one hand, so let me put the bolts in and I'll come back. And we're back again. And this is the cover for the timing chain. So that's got to come off before we can take the crank here out. So these bolts are 3/8. So I believe that's correct. No, excuse me, they're 7/16. These bolts are 7/16. 3/8 was too big. I had 3/8 on the brain. Okay, guys. So I made a decision, an executive decision the other day. And what you're looking at here is the crankshaft. This is the front of the engine on this side. That's the rear main seal over there. So this is the first cap, second cap, third cap, fourth cap, and the fifth cap is right there. Let me turn the camera a little bit so you move it a little bit so you can get that fifth one in. So on the front of the crankshaft, there is a gear, and initially I thought I need to pull that gear off, but I'm stupid. I told you I've never done this before, never done anything like this before. But watching a couple of YouTube videos just to solidify my knowledge of what I need to do next, I don't even need to remove that gear. So I'm just going to let the machine shop worry about that. And I'm just going to take these 5 caps off, and then that should allow me to lift out the crankshaft. And then I'm going to take these 3 bolts right here, and I'm going to put them in on the end of the camshaft, and I'm going to pull the camshaft out. And then the engine will officially be apart, and all that will be left here is just the block. And then I'll have to figure out how I'm going to get that into my truck. I guess I'll have to put a couple of bolts in it and put a chain on it and, you know, lift it like I did the, like we did coming out of the engine with the engine hoist, and just put it in the back of the truck. I don't know. Anyway, I'll figure it out. But, so that's the plan now, is we're going to take these 5 caps off. I'm going to use my metal stamp to stamp them so I know which ones are where. And, then we're gonna go ahead and take them off. So I'll come back. When I come back, I'll tell you what size bolts they are, and we'll get my breaker bar and we'll pop those things loose. almost out. Lordy, lordy, that thing's heavy. Zoom in so you can see that. I don't know, that looks pretty good to me. You know? There's number 2. Well, that's brown compared to that one. That one's silver. That one's brown. So maybe there's something that's like it was burning oil there or something and it got on that. There's 3. 3 doesn't look as rough on the bottom as it did on the top, so maybe there's more clearance on the bottom. There's 4. 4 doesn't look terrible. And 5. 5 looks pretty good. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll tell you what the machine shop thinks of it. Today is Sunday. It's probably going to be Friday before I'm able to take it to the machine shop, and hopefully he'll let me video that and some of our conversation. So, all right, so here's the other part. The last thing I need to do is to take out the camshaft. So there were 3 bolts that were sitting in my little pan up here, and they're supposed to go into the camshaft. It's a little trick that they show online. We'll see if it works for me. Get my big head in your way. We'll see how well it works for Mr. Rob. They said if you put these bolts in, makes it easy to pull out the camshaft. Well, that doesn't seem to want to move, so let me do a little more research. I'll be right back. Hey, well, it would help if I used enough strength pulling it out. I didn't want to damage anything, but it came right out. At least at the front part, it came right out. What the heck is that? Looks like there's a lifter there, something that's in there. At the very front. There's like a little lifter that's still in here that I have to push up to get this part and this part of the cam over it. And it looks like it rides on the lobes. But I thought I took all the lifters out. Maybe there's something that I'm just missing because I'm stupid. I saw there was an Uncle Tony's Garage video on how to tell what type of camshaft you have. So I'm gonna watch that and see if I can't determine what type of camshaft this is. If anybody knows, drop a link in the comments below. There's probably markings on it that I can use to maybe tell some things about it. Anyway, that's it. It's just nothing but the block left now. I'll investigate that little lifter in a minute. Okay, well, it's all apart. except for that little lifter thingy right there. That's what I'm going to call it for lack of a better term. I don't see an obvious way for how to remove that. And there's not one on the other side, or at least there doesn't appear to be. Let me get a light. Yeah, there doesn't appear to be anything like that over there. So I'm not sure what that thing right there is. Oh, I bet that's for the fuel pump. Oh, I'm stupid. I'll bet that's what that is. I'll bet that comes out right, well, right there, because that's where the fuel pump goes. I bet it comes out right there. All right. Well, anyway, that's part. Let's look over here. And I've got the engine parts right there. And then there are the boxes with cylinders, the pistons, I mean, and all their associated hardware. So I think I'm ready to go to the machine shop.